Hello everyone, it's Francesco here. Thank you very much to Anna for having me on the O Notes channel. I'm going to be sharing today some useful tips on notebooks and applications that I think could be handy in terms of your study routine and using them across your college, university or high school experience. I hope I can share a few useful experiences with you in terms of using a notebook and apps at the same time. So when it comes to combining both notebooks and apps, it's pretty tough. Like sometimes people either go one way, they either use the notebook fully or they'll use the phone fully. Now, I know a lot of students who really try and avoid the phone because it's a massive distraction. Imagine this going off all of the time you're in class. Of course, that's a distraction. And a lot of students just stick with a notebook because they like the experience and they don't really want to go out of that. What happens is whenever I'm doing notes on here, and I want to avoid any distractions, so when I want to focus my attention on this, then I'll use an application called Forest on my iPhone, which actually is really helpful. So when I get this Forest app up open, it basically just creates this forest. So it's quite of a weird concept. So you start creating this forest as soon as you set the timer. After 25 minutes, a tree is planted. And once that tree is planted, you essentially have to build this forest. It's quite a strange concept, but once you do these 25-40 minute sessions, you can set the time however you like. You slowly build up this forest and you slowly avoid distractions. So if you actually go out of the app, it calls you back into the app or else that tree will die. It's a useful way to keep the app open and avoid any phone calls or distractions like that. And I found it very helpful when I was studying for any specific exams and I wanted to avoid any phone contact. The second thing that I find useful personally is using this notebook when you're taking notes and stuff, but also using a note-taking service. Now there are lots of different note-taking services. Evernote, for example, is a good one. There's also Bear, OneNote. Now you may have also been set up on some of these for university. They're really handy because they create a good place for you to take notes. But what the good thing is you can make any major notes in here, any revision-worthy notes in here, and then you can jump on Evernote and dump in all of the multimedia. And what I refer to as multimedia is the PDFs, the audio files, and anything like that. That's useful for note-taking. So that is really handy, especially to use alongside here. You can make notes inside of the notebook and just put like see Evernote for more details or see OneNote for the full audio experience. One final tip I have is using apps with this. There is certain audio clipping applications. So for example, you can use the Voice Notes application on iOS, which is pretty handy. They've also got an Android version of this. But basically it just voice records. One thing to do that you could do in a lecture, switch your phone on silent and then put your phone next to the lecturer. Make sure to ask them so that they get their permission. But once you've done this, you can actually audio record the entire lecture. Now you can take any general notes in the notebook, but at the end of the lecture, you can go up to the stand at the front of the class, pick up your phone, and you've got all of the audio recording there. This way, if you're making notes and you're revising and going through those notes, you can then be like, oh, I've also got the audio and listen while you do that. Now that's helpful as well because you're actually getting rid of your phone as in terms of distraction, but you're actually making it useful while you're getting it out of the way. Anyway guys, I hope you found those 3 ways to use notebooks and apps together. I will include all of the links in terms of what I mentioned in the description, so Anna will put them there. But I really appreciate Anna having me here. Now, I put different sort of videos to Anna. I put videos about note-taking apps, productivity apps and resources, things that you could be using to excel your career, but also excel your university and college lifestyle. So I'll include my channel in the description, and if you have any comments to what other applications you can use, drop them in the comments of this video and I'll definitely answer them. I'll make sure to get to all of them. Anyway guys, thank you very much for having me on, Anna. I really appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to your video on my channel, which is going to cover some of the note-taking preferences when you're setting up your notebook and really just great tips and tricks. So I'm looking forward to that video being on my channel very soon. But anyway guys, thank you very much. Make sure you have a great week, keep productive, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Cheers.